all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So, quick side note, my neighbors are outside with their child. If you've been here for a while, you know how that goes. This was a story that was sent to me a while ago, but there wasn't that much information out, and now thankfully there's more, so that's why I kind of waited to cover it. Jessica Camilleri's Facebook post days before she allegedly murdered her mother. A woman who allegedly murdered her mom before cutting her head off made some dark posts on social media. So, needless to say, they put a few warnings about this being graphic. Now you also know. A Sydney woman accused of decapitating her mother with several knives before dropping the 57-year-old's head out of a neighbor's home was active on social media in the days leading up to the alleged murder. Jessica Camilleri, I don't know, 25, faced bail court yesterday charged with murder after she allegedly attacked her mom Rita in the kitchen of their St. Clair home late on Saturday night. She didn't apply for bail, with her lawyer telling the court she had significant health issues. She was assessed in hospital yesterday, and her matter was briefly heard in Penrith local court today, where she was formally refused bail. In the days leading up to the alleged murder, Camilleri's social media took a dark turn. Pictures posted by her mother showed a smiling Jessica, but the 25-year-old's own Facebook told a different story. As much as I appreciate social media because it does have some benefits, to be honest, this is one of the darker sides that always alarms me, and even though social media existed for the majority of my life, it always leaves me a little bit flabbergasted when people post on social media and then something happens and we go back through those posts and we start either reading into it or we just find out, because some posts are extremely explicit, like we saw with Gypsy Rose, whereas some are just dark and we can put our own meanings into them. On July 18th, the same day Miss Camilleri was due in local court for a different matter, the 25-year-old changed her profile pic to a gray filtered photo. Her doting mother commented on the picture with a love heart emoji. "Thank you, Mom, XOXO," Jessica responded. Rita responded with a picture of a woman blowing a kiss. So I'm gonna stop right here for a second and we're gonna keep reading, but I have to say that particular interaction, in my humble opinion, does not prove much. There are plenty of times that I post pictures with depressing ass captions and it doesn't mean anything. This one didn't even have a caption, it was just a filtered close-up photo. Granted, she doesn't look very happy, but nonetheless, I don't really think we can say, oh yeah, that for sure means XYZ, because again, if it's not explicitly stating something, we can all project our opinions onto someone, especially if that person is silent in the sense that there's no caption, so there's nothing to read into, we can just assess the picture, which I think can lead to a lot of assumptions and can be quite dangerous. In another Facebook post from July 18th, Jessica uploaded a picture of Jeepers Creepers with the story of the horror movie character attached. "Interesting story," Jessica wrote just after 3 a.m. "Yes, indeed," her mom replied. So let me just read exactly what was in the post that she posted. It was like a second when we realized that thing was like a man with huge wings struggling to fly. We screamed in panic, and whatever the thing was heard us, stopped and fell into the forest. It was almost getting dark, but there was still enough sunlight to see what we saw. Super scary. I kept screaming, thinking that thing was gonna follow us. We were really in shock. There are things here between us that we don't even know. We didn't see its face, but we did see like what seemed like an average man with huge wings. The shadow totally looked like Jeepers Creepers. I don't know, but I have an aunt who many years ago saw," and then it's cut off. Again, I don't really see how this is directly related to the act of decapitating someone. I mean, if we're gonna say that anyone who's interested in paranormal or horror or true crime is a criminal, we're gonna have a lot of criminal on our hands. I do think there's a little bit of projection here. I don't really think we can draw a conclusion from posting these things because they don't, in my opinion, seem directly related to what happened later. Let me know in the comments down below if you see these as directly related, or if you agree with me that it's dangerous to just project what we think onto something unrelated. In a 2017 post, Jessica uploaded a picture from Jeepers Creepers and a still from Texas Chainsaw Massacre and said horror movies were her favorite movies in the world. I had a feeling we were gonna go here. Liking horror movies does not make you a murderer. Liking true crime does not make you a murderer. Liking paranormal does not make you a murderer. murderer. You can be both, sure. Correlation does not imply causation, so there are plenty of murderers, I'm sure, who also liked rom-coms. That doesn't mean that if you watch a rom-com, you're now a murderer. While I'm low-key shading this article for how it's written, this is one of the most up-to-date ones, so I had to deal with it. The 25-year-old appeared in bail court yesterday via video link and explained she had been injured when allegedly killing her mother. She told the court the incident had left her unable to wash herself properly, to quote-unquote get all the blood off because she couldn't move her fingers properly. Jessica told the magistrate she had a number of conditions including border autism, bipolar disorder, and anxiety, and asked to be taken to a hospital where she could receive treatment. The matter will be heard at Penrith Local Court on August 9th when an application will be made for a forensic procedure to be carried out. It will then be brought back to the same court on September 20th for mention. So I'm curious to see if she does effectively have these conditions and if something happened hand in hand with a condition that might have made her delusional, paranoid, I don't know. But I'm very curious to see if there will be an explanation, whether it's medical or just her explaining what happened to make her attack her mother like that. Detective Superintendent Brett McFadden previously alleged the mother and the daughter had been arguing before it turned violent, with neighbors raising the alarm. Meanwhile, neighbors on Sunday were shocked, with one man telling ABC News, "It's terrifying to know that you live so close." Police say they were aware of the family, but what unfolded on Saturday was not foreseeable. It is a very difficult, challenging, confronting investigation, Superintendent McFadden said. Like I said, I don't really understand why they brought in these social media posts because it doesn't seem related in my opinion. Liking those movies also doesn't. I don't know if they're trying to paint that as the answer for now. It's alleged the 25 used a number of knives to kill her mother and cut off her head before dropping it on the footpath outside their family home just after 11:30 p.m. on Sunday. Support is being provided to the first responders who witnessed the horrific scene, with police describing it as bad as it gets. Police allege Rita was killed by her daughter in the kitchen of their family's St. Clair home where they both lived before the 25-year-old carried her head 2 houses down the road. Speaking to reporters on Sunday afternoon, Superintendent McFadden said the alleged crime was up there with one of the most significant, most horrific scenes police have ever had to face. Superintendent McFadden said the information they received from neighbors was quite specific. I can't really imagine what it would be like to be a first responder and you're walking down the street and there's just a head there. I feel like I would feel like it was an out-of-body experience, though I'm sure first responders are trained and almost expect to see something gory. I just don't think you can be prepared for that until it happens to you. And I hope they're okay, because just imagining that makes me nauseated. News.com.au understands neighbors started to rush to the aid of the mother after hearing the quote-unquote violent argument, but were instead confronted by the 57-year-old's head on the footpath. Officers rushed to the scene and found the mom's head and later found the rest of her dismembered body inside the kitchen of their St. Clair Avenue home. Superintendent McFadden said the mom had suffered extensive injuries. We understand at this stage that a number of knives were used during the course of the incident. I'm not able to specify what kind of knives they were at this stage. They both reside at the home together, he said. Jessica was arrested in the front yard of a neighbor's home. Superintendent McFadden said Jessica was known to the police, but there was no information that this situation in the family home was likely to occur. The family is distraught as to what has taken place. A knife was seized for forensic examination and several crime scenes were established inside the home, police said. So what confuses me is that there's this other article that refers to the same case, but the title is different and the story seems to have one big other fact. This one's titled, "Daughter Decapitated Mother in Australia Home in Front of 4-year-old Grandson." So the other article makes no mention of any child being present. Here's the information from this article. It says that Jessica actually knocked on her neighbor's door to tell him she killed her mother. So that also is a big difference that the other article did not mention whatsoever. So then additionally it says a 4-year-old boy who was in the home at the time of the incident sustained a minor head injury and was transported to a children's hospital. Police identified him as the victim's grandson and nephew of the 25-year-old. The rest of the article is very similar to the one I read prior. However, I have to say that having a child potentially seeing everything happening is terrifying, and I hope that he didn't. However, the fact that he sustained some minor injuries makes me wonder what he actually saw and what happened to him. I don't know how he would have gotten injured if he wasn't involved at all, unless like he fell over by himself. I don't know. I hope that child is okay, but as of right now, there's no real understanding of the motivations of the 25-year-old. I mean, we can all make some educated guesses, but as of now, there's nothing that seems clear to me. So again, that's why I was frustrated with like the horror stuff that was being posted. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and let's get right into the fan art.